Hey guys, so we have a grand cross setting up in the sky today in fixed signs between Saturn and Aquarius, the moon in Leo, the north and the south nodes of the moon as well, and Taurus and Scorpio. This could definitely represent having to overcome some challenges today and break through some restrictions or just a sense of general conflict and tension that we are operating within that is causing us to rise to the challenge, rise to the occasion in one way or another. We also have Mercury moving into the sign of Taurus. This is grounding our mind out a little bit, guys. Things have been really fiery over the past few weeks. Now that we have Mercury moving into Taurus, this should sort of calm things down a little bit, at least in terms of the way our mind and our thoughts are working. But that moon in Leo is also going to be forming a trine to the sun today, who is moving to 23 degrees of Aries, which is the degree where the new moon occurred last year. So again, we are in sort of energy today that is representing coming full circle and examining our progress, what we've come from, where we're at, where we're going, and what lessons and challenges we need to sort of deal with and overcome now in order to really start moving forward in a new direction. So let's jump into the report. Let's talk about everything that we have going on with this grand cross of planets and how this is playing out for us. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. We've got a lot to talk about today, you guys. There's a lot playing out yet again as we open our week this week. There's some interesting numerology that is corresponding to the aspects. There are themes of sort of stability actually woven throughout the energy that is present today. And if we look at the date itself, numerology right off the bat, we're talking about 4/11/22. 2 and 2 is obviously 4. So we have a 4/11 and then another 4/11 being like the reflection number. And it's also interesting in that context, just thinking about that, the way that the energy is presenting in terms of the numerology today, we also have the sun has traveled all the way back full circle to 23 degrees of Aries, where our new moon in Aries was last year, 2021 astrological lunar cycle. So in terms of the stability thing that we have going on as well, there's also, as I said, this grand cross going on in the sky that is aspecting Saturn. The moon is opposite Saturn today. The north and the south node are squaring Saturn, and Saturn is also a planet that really grounds things and represents, wants us to create stable and secure foundations of things. And I feel like with the numerology that we have going on in terms of the date, this 4/11/22, which is sort of synonymous to 4/11/4, which is sort of a reflection of itself. And we have the sun coming back to the degree where it was for our new moon last year, at the same time that we have this exact grand cross in fixed signs setting up between Saturn in Aquarius, the north and the south nodes of the moon as well. This is directly relating to the future and the past, to destiny and karma, to where we're coming from, what we are growing out of now, and where we're headed, what we're growing into now. So, considering the nature of this sort of reflective date that we have going on, that I feel like is talking about 4 being a number referencing stability, talking about, and also this grand cross going on as well. This is made up of 4 planets. This is comprised of 4 planets, one of them being Saturn, and the sun at the degree where it was to begin our new moon, our entire astrological last year, coming back to that degree. Finally, really, truly wrapping up last year's energy. I feel like there is definitely some sense going on today of reflecting on our stability, our internal stability. I feel like this energy is showing us our own internal stability in terms of the experiences or the lessons or the challenges that we are encountering right now. Sort of what we are encountering in our external world today in this energy being sort of a reflection of our state of stability internally, and that being like a mechanism for showing us the lessons that we need to learn right now in order to release ourselves from the past and truly begin moving forward into this new personal paradigm that we are all in the process of recreating for ourselves, essentially, on an energetic level. At this point in time, based on the shifts and the transformations that we've all been making, the return to truth and authenticity within us, the like recognition of our value and our worth and the power that gives us to really want to take hold of who we are and what we stand for and begin to cultivate and nourish that and start to really embody it, instead of perhaps, maybe the ideals that we had been striving for in the past that were less connected to our truth and more connected to needing to like fit or check some type of box according to like the societal or the family or the expected standards in one way or another. So just the way on surface value, face value, that this energy is playing out today in terms, like I said, of that numerology, us having this grand cross comprised of these 4 planets, Saturn being one of those planets, also representing stability, while the moon is also in Leo today. And it's really funny actually how this is playing out. Again, very synchronistic. It's written perfectly. The moon, when it hits the exact degree that forms this grand cross, will also be forming an exact to the degree trine to the sun at this 23 degrees of Aries, this new moon degree from last year, which I feel like is really like the final loose ends being tied up in terms of the energy that needed to play out last year and the things that needed to transpire in order to have us moving in this new direction, while the moon is simultaneously forming the square to the north and the south nodes and the opposition to Saturn. So this is like a kind of complex message today that's coming through, and I'm trying really hard to like break it down. So I'm sorry if this is like a little bit confusing today, but I'm really trying to clarify this energy the way I'm seeing it in the best way that I can. So bear with me, okay? So first of all, all that being said, let's sort of start at the top with the moon. And what's going on with the moon today. And the moon is in Leo. The moon is transiting sort of like the mid to end degrees of Leo. And right now we have Saturn in the sky at 23 degrees of Aquarius, the oppositional sign to Leo. We have the north and the south node both at 23 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. These fixed signs also are a more stubborn energy and can represent like a resistance to something. A grand cross, you guys, let's talk about first of all what this aspect is. This is when 4 planets come into exact 90 degrees and 180 degrees with each other. There's 2 separate oppositions going on and 4 squares. In squares, generally, these aspects create tension and conflict, and it's for the purpose of really like breaking through into a greater evolution, to solving a it's like it brings things to a head in order to solve a problem in a way that is like better than it was before, essentially. And when we're dealing with a grand cross, this is like the square aspects on steroids, sort of, because we have 4 of them going on in the context of 4 different planets. However, grand crosses also set us up with like a tremendous opportunity for success, because the way that grand crosses usually play out, there is some type of massive challenge that is presented through this aspect. However, when that challenge is conquered, when that challenge is overcome, the aspect simultaneously provides an opportunity for some very, very grounded, stable, enduring, long-term success and like reward in, one capacity or another. This grand crosses represent challenges, but they also represent achievement, success, and reward. And with these planets setting up today, in this aspect, this is telling us, you guys, especially since the north and the south nodes are 2 of the points that we are including in this grand cross today. And we're talking about Saturn, and we're talking about the moon in Leo. This is our pride. This is also our ego. This is also our loyalty and our love and our creativity and our personal creative self-expression. Saturn in Aquarius really wants us to be very patient and very hardworking and very focused and very diligent. And Saturn also represents authority and rules and restrictions and limitations and lessons. Today, you guys, is definitely a day where we are taking our lessons, where we really need to embrace whatever challenges that we are facing in this energy as an experience for growth through whatever lesson is being presented to us. Like I said, I really feel like there's some aspect of the energy energy today that is reflecting back to us our own internal level of stability at this point in time. And we're talking about the moon in opposition to Saturn. First of all, we are really going to want to watch, especially with the moon in Leo being like super harsh and judgmental and overly critical on ourselves and on our progress, and especially like on our creative pursuits and creative endeavors and, you know, what truly brings us joy and happiness today. This energy could definitely cause us to be sort of like down on ourselves or overly critical, overly judgmental, like the harsh critic, the harsh judge in terms of what we're creating, what we're bringing into this world, what we are aligning with in terms of, you know, what brings us joy and what brings us happiness and what brings us a sense of like just fun generally. There may be definitely, we may be feeling like overly harsh, overly critical. We may feel as though our ability to experience like joy and fun and pleasure and stuff like that is being restricted to some extent today. Now, when we're also talking about the nodes of the moon, the past and the future, it's like whatever is coming against us in this energy is trying to teach us a lesson in, you know, being able to maintain our passions and to maintain our loyalties and to maintain our heart space and our drive and our creative energy in the face of whatever obstacles or challenges that are presenting to us right now. Because overcoming these challenges, using this strength and this courage, also represented by Leo, the lion, and being brave enough to face these challenges or these difficulties and to overcome and triumph over them. Also, you know, victory, ruled by Leo as well, is directly related to our ability to move forward and recreate ourselves in this new energy and truly begin to attract and magnetize to ourselves the experiences and the relationships that can bring us a heightened level of fulfillment and abundance in accordance with this 222 year as we move through this energy. So, you know, things today could be a little tricky. Like Saturn also, this is a very karmic alignment as well, you guys. And, you know, I've been talking about this. Saturn has been in square to the nodes since the new moon in Aries, this past 2022 new moon in Aries. This entire year is all about karmic lessons that help us to release ourselves from the past so that we can go forward in this new paradigm where we're really recreating ourselves based on the authentic resources that we hold within us and the value that that represents, the North Node in Taurus right now. But whatever lessons, whatever resistance, whatever challenges or obstructions we feel like we might be coming up against today, there is an important lesson to be gleaned out of it, both a karmic lesson in regards to Saturn and the South Node, both ruling karma, both involved in this, and it has to do also with our ability to shine our light and to align with our light and to get in alignment with that true creative potential that we have within us and not allow it to be like overpowered or over controlled or over managed in a way that like causes us to like lose faith or abandon the new trajectory, the new direction we're going, and sort of like slide back into those old habits. That's what this energy is trying to teach us to overcome. To overcome criticism as well from others. We need to watch being our own harsh inner critic today, but we also are learning in this energy not to take personally the criticism and the judgment and the opinions of others, and to not let other people's naysaying or other people's hating or other people's opinions impact our ability to move forward and pull us back into those old negative toxic cycles of the past. That is, you know, this whole 2021 year, speaking about the sun again being at that 23 degrees of Aries where the new moon was last year. This entire year, this past year, was trying to get us to come back into the truth of our own value based on this re-recognition of this authentic person that we are inside, who we may have abandoned for a very long period of time, but like re-recognizing that and reacquainting with that and developing and cultivating a new relationship with that. And like as a result of that, the value and the self-love and the self-worth that comes because of that process, and then, you know, our ability to tap into that and to really embody it and to start using it in one way or another to serve those around us or in our community or the greater good somehow. And then what we magnetize to ourselves as a result of that is totally in alignment with what this 222 here is trying to bring us, that I talk about all the time, and this trajectory into the age of Aquarius and this personal paradigm shift that is happening for all of us right now. And that is how we create the shift of ages. It happens personally within all of us. We all all create our own new reality through this energetic shift that's happening within us, and the recognition of that truth and that value and that authenticity, and stepping into that and embodying it and cultivating it and sharing it and then receiving. As a result of that, we change our own reality. And as a result of that, it's like the snowball effect. Bit by bit by bit, every single light goes on. And then before you know it, we're all water bearers. And it's the age of Aquarius. And we are co-creating with God and universe our experiences from this place of self-mastery. That's where this is going. And today, I really do feel like today, especially with this numerology as well, very interesting how that plays out. I feel like it is sort of giving us a reflection of what we gained over the past year in terms of that whole process and the stability that we are having inside of us at this point in time. And again, anything that is like crumbling or falling or just imbalanced in our external reality right now, I feel like is a lesson that is presenting as a reflection of the state that we are at internally after everything that has transpired over this year. And as we are beginning this new 2022 astrological cycle, I feel like it's showing us what we need to work on throughout the course of this year. And again, this Saturn square the nodes, this energy was present for the new moon. This energy is going to be present, and Mars was there too. Like this is something that we're going to be working on throughout the course of this year. And as we go through this process of unlocking our potential based on this self-love and this opened up heart frequency, being able to come closer to the resonance of unconditional love, and therefore being able to attract and magnetize to ourselves these more fulfilling experiences, that we will be able to recognize the level of our growth based on the stability that is being reflected for us in our external world moving throughout this 2022 year and into 2023 next year. So big time aspect going on today. Definitely we want to watch that harsh inner critic. And as I said, since we're still speaking about the moon, which is forming this grand cross today, again, this is happening. All of these planets are at 23 degrees of their signs. And the sun, remember, being at that new moon from 2021 degree today, that's 23 degrees of Aries. So not only do we have this grand cross going on at 23 degrees Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, but we also have the sun and the earth today at 23 degrees Aries and Libra. And so when the moon comes to 23 degrees of Leo today and really kicks off this exact T-square at that same moment in time, while the sun or while the moon is at that exact degree, the moon will also be forming an exact trine to the sun at the degree where it was, this like final degree closing out that last year. Even though we've already had our new moon in Aries cycle, this is where the sun was for the new moon in Aries last year, where it is today. The new moon in Aries last year was on April 11th, 2021. Today is April 11th, 2022, So we've really come like full cycle, full circle finally in this process, even though we've already had our astrological reset. And I just find it very, very interesting that that exact degree, that moon in Leo is going to be forming the trine to the sun as well at that degree where it was last year, in the context as well of this T-square. So I really feel, and a trine, this is a facilitating aspect. This is something that helps things to fall into place. It assists things to happen. And so it's almost like with the moon both forming the T-square with these planets, or the grand cross with these planets, and also the trine to the sun at the degree where it was last year. I really feel like this is a very clear indication and signal that like whatever lessons or challenges are being presented to us right now are like the nightcap on everything that we were learning last year. Like this is sort of the last mountain that we need to climb over in order to really start embodying and moving into this 2022 energy and moving forward. Of course, the North Node is involved. This is directly one of the planets in this T-square. So once again, you guys, like a really magical blueprint, the way that this is working out today. Just the fact that that moon at 23 degrees of Leo today would be doing both of those things, forming both this grand cross that is very powerful in regards to our karmic lessons and helping us to break free from those and truly graduate essentially so that we can go forward into this new paradigm of personal creation, and the moon simultaneously forming that exact trine to the sun at the degree of the new moon moon last year, April 11th, 4/11/22 for the reflection. Like, how far have we come? Where are we at? And what do we need to overcome to finally close out the lessons from last year and begin moving in this new direction? Saturn being the teacher, the disciplinarian, the judge, ruling the lesson book, the lesson plan, and the North Node is how it unfolds. So, I don't know, you guys, like, that is just crazy to me. Also with the sun in Leo today, of course, Leo is ruled by the moon, or Leo is ruled by, sorry, I don't know if I said that right. With the moon in Leo today, Leo is ruled by the sun. So even the sign that the moon is in today is talking about the sun, the position of the sun being in that trine to the sun as well. This really has a lot to do with turning the page, closing the door, overcoming the final challenges, like getting to, like, finally breaking through the finish line of the things and the experiences and the lessons, first and foremost, with Saturn being there as well, that we went through last year. And again, these themes of stability as well, this number 4 today being like infused in the numerology of things, showing us our own internal stability at this point in time based on what is being reflected back to us in terms of obstructions and challenges and uncertainty right now, limitations. Like, that is another aspect of this energy. Things may feel a bit like stagnant or blocked today. With the moon and the trine to the sun, both in fire signs, Aries and Leo, this is a very fired up energy. But when we introduce that Grand Cross and fixed signs, this is blocks and resistance and conflict and tension and frustration. But again, Grand Crosses lead ultimately to, like, the greatest form of, manifestation as well. Manifesting, number 4, like victory, success, tangible physical rewards for the challenges that have been overcome and the lesson, the wisdom gained, Saturn, through that process. So really, you guys, like, that's what we're dealing with today. This is a very big energetic dynamic that we have going on. And don't forget also, we simultaneously have Jupiter and Neptune still in an exact conjunction. The exact to the minute conjunction, I believe, is going to be either tomorrow or maybe the day after. And we'll talk about that. But we have that, in the peripherals of this as well. So on the side of this, there is this huge spiritual infusion that is going on right now. Or on the other hand of that, perhaps in a very expanded desire to hide from things, to run away, and to not participate in reality. So we really want to, this chart is telling us, the way that it's laying out today, that, like, the way to escape whatever is obstructing us or limiting us or holding us back or frustrating us, or the conflict or the tension, the solution to help us overcome these challenges is going to be through our faith, is going to be through our spiritual connection and our ability to sort of like interact with the higher spiritual planes of this reality and use our imagination to, manifest the desired outcomes that we want. This is another, with this Grand Cross going on as well. This is again that stabilizing energy that can really ground things and help things manifest. With Jupiter and Neptune together, this is a very, very strong ability to use our imagination to imprint on our subconscious mind and on the higher spiritual planes what we consciously desire and what outcome we want to achieve, and working through our faith and meditation and visualization and imagining, like, to the point where we can feel it and actually tangibly believe it and accept it into our experience without having to see it in our 3D. That is really like the higher octave of the teachings that are being presented right now. We are in a phase of overcoming challenges, overcoming limitations, patience, really having to sort of take the high road in a lot of situations, because this is a karmic detox and a karmic cleansing as well. But we have tremendous opportunity and potential to sort of detach ourselves from the 3D situations right now and really work on those more spiritual planes, again, with our imagination, with our subconscious mind, and really ingrain and live in our feeling body, in our emotional body, what we want to experience, and, have the faith, have the trust, have the belief that that is what we are preparing for even if that may be not what we are physically tangibly seeing in our manifest physical like environment right now. Again, also with this grand cross, this could be a test in the 3D, this grand cross representing like physical, tangible materialization, stabilization, like manifestation, what is going on the ground, on earth, in this reality. And this could also be sort of like a test in our ability to align with those higher spiritual knowings and our inner vision in spite or despite what may be presenting as challenges in our tangible physical 3D reality in the context of this grand cross that we have going on right now as well. Let's talk about the degree placements that we have for these aspects that are setting up today. First of all, 23 degrees of Aries, where the sun is today. The Sabian symbol of that degree is a woman in pastel colors carrying a heavy, valuable, but veiled load. And, you know, if you guys watched my new moon video from way back when, from April 11th of last year, you know, a year ago today, I was saying how I felt like last year was really going to bring some perhaps very heavy, difficult experiences that we may not be able to perceive a rationalization for in this moment. And it may feel very hectic and confusing and disorienting and just very difficult and heavy, but the outcome would be something really, really valuable. And with Venus having been in a square to Saturn or a square to Pluto for last year, I knew it was going to be about a return of our inner value, our inner strength, our self-love, our self-worth, and the power that gives us to overcome our experience. I felt like it was going to be a year about like a rectification of the heart and re-recognizing the value that we hold inside of us that may have been veiled or hidden from us for a very long time based on these more difficult experiences, more heavy experiences that we may have been having to navigate. And again, with the sun coming back to this degree today, we just happen to have a grand cross with Saturn and the nodes and the moon setting up in the sky today. And that also could be a more heavy, difficult experience. But with the moon also forming the exact time to the sun, coming full circle, wrapping up this year, it's to show us where we're at internally right now in terms of our stability, in terms of everything that last year was trying to show us and what lessons we still need to learn and gain in order to grow and to go into this new direction. And any lessons that we still need to learn right now, you guys, like, this is not a bad thing. Like, we're not behind. This is a positive thing because it's helping us to come into our best self, our highest version of ourselves, our true potential, so that we can unlock these doors within us and move forward in this new direction and creating the Age of Aquarius from this place of self-mastery. Without those lessons, it doesn't matter how many books we read or how many podcasts we listen to or like how many like conversations we have. Like, it's personal experience that really makes those things meaningful and makes sense to us. And that is why these lessons are presenting. And also remember, we are in a new moon that this whole year was in a conjunction to Chiron. The hero's journey is this entire year is being like encapsulated within. And that is the journey from victimhood to self-mastery, inner alchemization, going from our lower states of vibration and, you know, where we surrender our power to our highest states of self-empowerment to the point of being able to co-create with God and universe in true Aquarian fashion as we head into this new age. So again, back to the degree where the sun is today, you know, it just makes sense in the context of things. And with this grand cross setting up today, things could be getting heavy, but what we gain from them will be tremendously valuable when the veil is lifted. And then we have the position of the earth today, you guys. This is a very positive indication. 23 degrees of Libra, what's happening on the ground. Chanticleer's voice heralds the rising sun with enthusiastic tones. It's a new day. Like, we're closing out this energy from last year, these challenges, these heavy, difficult burdens, and we are, you know, seeing the light. The light is coming back. We're standing in the sun. The sun is rising. It's a new day, and we are moving forward. Whatever lessons are presenting right now are to help us move forward into into this new energy represented by the sun, represented by the light. Again, remember, we have the moon in Leo today, also ruled by the sun. So the light is a very strong theme. The return of the light is a very strong theme in the chart today, energetically, symbolically as well. We also have, let's talk specifically about the planets at 23 degrees today first. We also have Saturn at 23 degrees of Aquarius right now, a big bear sitting down, waving all his paws. Again, there's the challenge, there's the obstruction, there's the defensiveness, there's the aggression, there's the criticism, there's the resistance, there's the blockage to the progress, there's the scary thing that we have to overcome. Like there's the mountain we have to climb right there. That big bear sitting down, waving all of his paws, blocking entrance into our new world, into our new reality. But our job today is to overcome. We have the moon today at 23 degrees of Leo for this exact alignment. A bareback rider in a circus displays her dangerous skills. So we are being asked, you guys, to have courage, to have strength, to have the willpower to overcome and to persevere. But again, like this theme of courage is being indicated today. Courage to overcome these difficulties, courage to face down this bear, courage to be the bareback rider in our own experience and not allow whatever cold water Saturn and Aquarius is being thrown on our glowing flame of passion today to diminish our will, to diminish our passion, to hold us back, to cause us to internalize that energy. That is not what we want to do in this energy with the moon in Leo opposing Saturn and Aquarius. As I started out this report, we do not want to be internalizing the negative, harsh criticism and stuff of others today. Now, constructive criticism that we can use to better and improve ourselves, this is a totally different story, and we should not feel offended or ego bruised if we get some type of constructive criticism that can genuinely better us. We need to realize we are in a period of lessons. This is not about appeasing our ego with the moon in Leo. This is about aligning with the authentic truth of our heart and having the courage to overcome difficulties despite any like ego issues that we might face along the way. And that may be another thing that we are conquering in this energy is our own ego and really like pulling it back, restricting it, gaining mastery over it, like learning to suppress our ego urges to an extent so that we can be operating out of this place of wisdom and true heart-centered based compassion and love, also represented by the sign of Leo. But there's definitely a theme today of having the courage to overcome. And, you know, this bareback rider, like she's done it before. She's practiced in this. And again, with the energy, how it's coming in today, like we've been doing this all year. We got this. We're good at this. We have these skills. We just need to have the faith and trust and belief in ourselves, Neptune and Jupiter together in the sign of Pisces, to do it in the face of our fears or in the face of difficulties, to overcome, to persevere, because the challenges that we are able to rise above at this point in time now are, again, directly related to our ability to break ourselves free from these karmic patterns of the past that have been keeping us out of the truth of our value and our potential and the real inner resources that we have within us to create abundance, fulfillment, balance, again, stability, the North Node in Taurus in our physical world. So yeah, and let's talk about the North and the South Node now, 23 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. The North Node is at a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems. This so much reminds me of this 222 energy that we're moving into in this year right now and what universe is trying to do for us. It's trying to show us the valuable gems that we hold inside of us, inside of our own jewelry shop. That's what we're growing into right now. That's what we're being asked to recognize. That's what we're being asked to see is the precious nature of what we hold inside of us and the value and the potential that represents. And as a result of aligning with those frequencies, we begin to experience that jewelry shop in our external world as well in a way that truly fulfills our soul from that very authentic heart-based place. The South Node right now is at a bunny metamorphosized into a fairy. This is all about this process of alchemization and metamorphosis and transmutation that we are going on right now out of the shadows and the ego instincts and the victimhood and the trauma and the toxic psychological components and dynamics and subconscious programming of the past that has held us back from turning into this beautiful magical fairy that recognizes and is filled with these valuable gems, and therefore goes around sprinkling them across the world and comes home to a gem shop filled with even more beautiful ones. Like, that is what this energy is trying to do for us. But we've got this big bear that's standing in our way, and we are being asked to be the bareback rider today, fearlessly displaying her dangerous skills. So overcoming challenges today, overcoming blocks, overcoming restrictions, whether they be restrictions within ourselves, or as a result of our ego, or just not like emotionally aligning with the negativity that may be coming from other people. But any way we look at it, any way we slice it, karmic lessons, karmic tests today in this energy that are wrapping up the energy and the tests that we've been dealing with from last year. And are just really, there's a theme, they're trying to illuminate us as well to again, that truth and that value that we hold inside. There's also indications going on in the chart today of revelations, illumination, and of course the degree of the sun unveiling what this is leading to, that heavy, valuable, veiled load. Again, the position of the sun today talking about something very valuable as well, and then a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems, this sense of value. And again, this grand cross that's presented, this is a very valuable aspect, even though it's a challenging one and perhaps a difficult one, because of its promise to bring tangible physical rewards and success as a result of overcoming and learning the lessons and mastering the challenges. So we have all of that, you guys. And now the last thing that I really want to mention today is that we also have Mercury, as I said in the beginning, changing signs, moving into Taurus, ruled by Venus, where the North Node is, where Uranus is. This next few weeks with Mercury transiting Taurus, there's going to be a lot of like faded, destined shifts in ideas, information, or shifts in mindset, thoughts, ideas, perspective, information. Some type of mental awakening is likely to be transpiring over the next couple of weeks that really aligns us mentally with our the direction that we are heading right now, with our current destiny, based on the choices that we've made and what we've aligned ourselves to, and the direction that we're heading. And with Mercury now in the sign of Taurus, this is a much more, as I said in the beginning, like a much more grounded, calm, peaceful vibe going on mentally. Like there's a tendency probably to be a lot less like into sort of like verbal confrontation or arguments or fights with Mercury going on in Taurus, much less about like debating and going back and forth and being really assertive about our ideas and stuff like this. Mercury in Taurus, we're actually more mentally geared towards being resourceful and being practical, and also really beautifying like our home and our environment, or making changes and improvements. We're thinking about stuff like that, maybe thinking about some things that we can do with our home, things that we can do also in projects. Like, this is very supportive energy for any type of creative project or pursuit that we are starting or working on right now. But again, much more stabilized, again, sort of like a theme of the day, mental energy that we're going to have going on now over this next couple of weeks. Last thing I want to mention is a couple of more Sabian symbols. Now that I've mentioned Mercury, we have Mercury at 2 degrees of Taurus today. That Sabian symbol is an electrical storm, illuminates the heavens and the forest. So this is Mercury that we're talking about. Again, this is the mind, and this is also talking about a storm, which could be representative of maybe some of the issues that we might be dealing with today. This is talking about an electrical storm as well, which makes me immediately think of Uranus. And like some shocking or surprising things potentially. But it's illuminating both the heavens and the forest, the heavens and the earth, this ability to see what's going on, you know, as above, so below in this energy. And again, sort of, I feel like this is also kind of lining up with us coming to April 11th and the day where the new moon was last year. And this also, this reflective energy that we have going on, sort of reflecting back to us our stability in terms of what's going on outside of us, and therefore what's going on inside of us. And also this Jupiter-Neptune, that conjunction that we have going on, that is really trying to help us gain this greater spiritual awareness, really illuminate the heavens for us. It's like the heavens are being illuminated in terms of the spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom, spiritual guidance, spiritual understanding, spiritual pull that we may be feeling right now. And simultaneously, these lessons that may be presenting today may be really showing us the state of what's going on, with us in our 3D reality. So it's sort of like Mercury, the mind today at this degree, I feel like in the context of all this energy is talking about, again, sort of like this reflection that's going on as above, so below, and sort of mentally getting an understanding of where we're at in this process. The North and South nodes too, after all that we've been through and where we are trying to move towards now. We also have Venus today, which is relevant because Mercury is moving into Taurus, ruled by Venus. We also have the North Node in this Grand Cross today, and Taurus ruled by Venus. And Venus is at 7 degrees of Pisces today, illuminated by a shaft of light. A large cross lies on rocks surrounded by sea and mist. Again, we have another degree talking about something being illuminated. We had an electrical storm illuminates the heavens and the forest, and now illuminated by a shaft of light, a large cross lies on a rock surrounded by sea and mist. Remember, the degree of the earth today was also Chanticleer's voice heralds the rising sun with enthusiastic tones. And with Venus at this degree today, again, this is talking about this is specifically talking about illuminating the reality of the spiritual presence in this dimension by what we're seeing in the 3D. So I feel like both of these degrees by Mercury and Venus today, Mercury being in Venus's sign, are both talking about, revelations in terms of the spiritual connection or the spiritual planes of reality and the impact that they truly can have on helping us navigate and overcome our challenges at this point in time, and simultaneously illuminating sort of the state of things now for us on the ground after all that we've been through, and simultaneously the state of where we are wanting to head now in alignment with our inner vision and our mind's eye and what we want to manifest and create for ourselves as we head towards this new paradigm and this recreation that we are seeking of ourselves, that we are seeking to embody now as we move forward into this energy. So, and also unveiling. So illumination, revelation, unveiling of things, a return of the light, all of these things being referenced today in the context of this energy that is playing out. That is, again, I sort of feel like really finally tying up the very loose ends from things that transpired last year that were trying to bring us through this process of breakthrough back into alignment with our authentic truth. And now we are seeing, what lessons we still need to navigate moving forward to truly begin to embody and therefore attract these more fulfilling and abundant experiences and connections that are trying to come to us. Whew. All right. So you guys, that is what I have to say for the energy today. A lot of energy, a lot of aspects, a lot of synchronicities, very interesting, very significant day. Let's talk about the tarot for a second, you guys. Tarot time. Got some cards this morning. Asked God, Spirit, Universe, please give me some symbolism that can clarify the collective energy. Where are we at right now in the context? I did this before I looked at the chart, so I didn't even realize that we had this Grand Cross playing out today when I originally did these cards. But we got 3 cards coming out today, and then we have one on the back of the deck to talk about as well. First off, I'm going to tell you guys, we had the 3 of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck. So we may sort of be feeling a little out of sorts in terms of our relationships or our ability to experience togetherness and fun and pleasure today, and just joyful reunions and stuff like that, especially with, again, like I said, the moon in Leo opposite Saturn and Aquarius today. There may be sort of a more repressed ability to be affectionate or loving or to have fun and engage with other people for one reason or another. And this is being demonstrated as well by this 3 of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. It's for some reason, these conflicts that may be presenting, they may be sort of disrupting the interpersonal relationships or our plans for something fun or yeah, I don't know, but I just wanted to mention that before we get into the rest of the cards. Now, you guys, the first card that we had coming out of the deck this morning was the Tower. The second card was the 6 of Cups, And the third card was the Page of Pentacles. Basically, in a nutshell, you guys, I feel like this is saying this grand cross, whatever lessons are coming through, whatever is being presented, we're coming to a point where we're realizing that, you know, maybe we've been existing in, maybe the tower that we've built for ourselves is really actually crumbling and on fire right now, and we really need to have courage and strength to overcome a challenge or to overcome a difficulty or to take a risk or to just really face down like a fear that we have or something and jump. But after the tower, whatever is going on, whatever is crumbling, whatever is breaking down, whatever like uncomfortable, shocking, surprising like situations may be happening right now. Again, with Mercury also moving into Taurus right now, this is triggering Uranus. This is triggering the North Node. And with Mercury at that degree as well, the electrical storm illuminates the heavens and the forest. There could definitely be some really crazy, surprising like information coming in today in one way or another. But you guys, and you know, it could have something to do with us not feeling like we can maybe relate to people the way that we used to, or not wanting to engage in the same type of activities, having a little bit more sober mindset today, or desire to interact and relate with people, not really being in such like a celebratory mood in one way or another. But you know, after that, it's saying the Six of Cups and then the Ace or the Page of Pentacles. So it's like whatever tower moment may be going on, whatever like challenge or difficulty we have to like face and master, whatever tower we may feel like we have to jump from right now, it's bringing us, it's actually working to restore our relationship to our own inner child and our heart-based center. This is, you know, sort of more of those Leo vibes. Like Leo also rules the inner child. This could be some lessons in regards to how we need to heal and what we need to do to overcome issues or negative cycles that we've been dealing with in terms of our own inner child as well, or with children. There could definitely be an element of children wrapped up in this energy today as well. With the moon in Leo opposite Saturn and Aquarius, probably going to want to try not to be like overly harsh disciplining children today. I should say that as well. We should probably, there may be some like resistance going on or some difficulties in like parenting or teaching and stuff like that today with this Grand Cross. And it probably isn't going to benefit anybody to be like overly harsh or overly disciplinarian when we're dealing with this moon in Leo on like younger people or children who may be like acting out today. Just wanted to say that as well. But anyways, yeah, like whatever's happening with this tower energy, it is to actually like restore a sense of like inner peace and balance and love and harmony and abundance rooted in a more secure inner child energy that is going on. It's interesting too, because Chiron also rules the inner child, and the hero's journey that we're on all year this year has a lot to do with like reparenting and re-recognizing the inner child and removing the traumas that occurred from the inner child. That is part of the inner alchemization that goes on. And, you know, I feel like this is saying whatever is happening is actually trying to bring us back into a place of a more happy inner child energy that is very important in our ability to manifest and create going forward. It's actually a very important facet of being able to manifest properly in this reality, is making sure that the inner child is properly aligned and not holding a lot of trauma. I mean, it all goes back to subconscious mind and, you know, childhood trauma and stuff like that. But inner child healing, very important. And whatever is happening with this tower moment, I feel like is doing something to benefit that process and help us come back to a place of internal love and self-worth and self-value. And then we have the Page of Pentacles as well. And this is that new opportunity. This is, you know, this card sort of encompasses to me like all the possibilities. Like this is also a very youthful energy. This is a page that we're talking about. So it's almost like from this place of restored inner child energy, we realize our value, that we have the whole world in our hands. We have all the resources that we need inside of us and at our fingertips. And, you know, opportunities are unlimited if we can keep he's got his eye right on that. If we can keep our eye and our vision hooked and attached to the things that we want to create and manifest. So honestly, and it makes sense as well with that moon in Leo today, Saturn also in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. Mercury moving into Taurus today, going to be heading towards Uranus. Something about this energy is actually trying to, on some level, restore the inner child so that we can feel free and liberated to embrace and accept a new start and a potential for like recreating ourselves at whatever point of life we're in, and that, you know, opportunities and possibilities and miracles are available to us. But you know, for some reason it's trying to take us back to this inner child energy. So that's what we got. That's what we got for the cards. Sort of an interesting message. Let's do a synchronicity card now, you guys. Shall we see one final message or piece of advice that God, universe, spirit wants to give to us today as we're navigating? And this is the card that wanted to flip out. It flipped over while I was shuffling. It says, a blessing in disguise. And you know what? That is exactly what a grand cross is, because grand crosses present the utmost of challenge, but they also bring the utmost of rewards. A blessing in disguise. And the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. 1 Samuel 12:18. An electrical storm illuminates the heavens and the forests. Thunder and lightning can be frightening and give us a scare, but it is followed by blessed rain. You are divinely guided and blessings follow. This is exactly, you guys, like literally on point to the storms, what this chart is saying today, what this energy is saying today, and what we need to keep in mind, you know, as the bareback rider, the big bear sitting down, like having to overcome our fears, having to conquer the obstacles that present themselves. Thunder and lightning can be frightening and give us a scare, but it is followed by a blessed rain. You are divinely guided and blessings follow. Jupiter and Neptune can in conjunction. We need to be able to maintain our faith in the manifestations that we are in the process of creating right now, and have enough strength over our own mind and mastery over our own consciousness to not allow ourselves to be sucked into the 3D physical things that we are seeing and navigating in this reality, and like attach them as though they are true and going to be continuing into the future. Because if we can hold to the faith, if we can see the 5D in the midst of the 3D, that energy is what is going to grow Jupiter and Neptune and become available to us as we go through this internal energetic shift as well. That opens us to the frequencies that allow us to attract these opportunities and these circumstances. So this energy, yeah, absolutely, very much a blessing in disguise. Same, that's exactly what these tarot cards said too. This tower, look at that storm right there. Again, it's the lightning storm. Same exact thing. But what do we have after that? A return of innocence, a return of like youthful energy and innocence and just purity, and like that more like heart-based center that is aligned with that unconditional love energy and frequency that opens us to these unlimited possibilities and opportunities that we may have thought far gone at this point in our lives from us, but that really can be at our fingertips if only we can see them and pay attention. So that's what we got today, you guys. Blessings in disguise, stars, cards. I hope you guys liked it. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments so much. I love hearing what you have to say. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you, so, so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, a TikTok, and a website. Those are in my description box below if you're interested in any of that. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We will have more astrology to talk about, and I'm sure I'll have a lot to say as per usual, so you don't want to miss it. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Blessings in disguise abound, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.